see those beautiful faces? Do you hear the sweet sound of collegiate sports team, college sports, collegiate college fight songs? That's what I was looking for. It is time again for another Mascot tournament. March Mascot Madness 3 is right around the corner, actually about a month away from now, tipping off March 4th over on twitch.tv/JohnSourceRex at 2 p.m. Pacific time. You can go right now to challenge, challonge.com/MMM2021 and fill out your brackets for this year's tournament. Winner gets a free gift sub to twitch.tv/JohnSourceRex. So if that sounds interesting to you, head on over there. Link is in the description below if you want to just quick link to that. But what I like to do before all the tournaments kick off is show you the brackets and run down all of the matchups. And this year, this time I should say, we're going to do a little bit different. I'm not going to worry about the records or anything. I'm just going to show you the matchups, let you know what's going on so that you can make picks based on furry creatures and what they look like. You can pick whoever you want. March Mascot Madness, as with September Mascot Madness, every mascot tournament tips off with the Apple Basket, which is Washington and Washington State. We're back in Pullman this year because that's where it started. Originally in March, we're in Pullman. In September, we are in Seattle. Washington State, I know I said I wasn't really going to worry about the records. Washington State, though, is looking for their first win ever in a mascot tournament game. Next up, we have Texas. There they are. Texas taking on Kentucky. They're all the way back here in the K's. So there you go. Little orange versus blue. Good looking matchup here. California at Duke. I feel like I've skipped a bunch of information, so let me just kind of pepper that in here. March Mascot Madness takes place all March long. It tips off on the 4th of March, and it runs every Thursday and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/JohnSourceRex. And you can catch it every Saturday and Sunday on YouTube at 6 a.m. So you can catch up over there. Thankfully, there are 4 weekends in March, so that's always nice. Basically, it's going to break down to there are 64 games. Because we're going to do a third place game, and there are going to be 8 games a day, so 8 games, 8 games, 8 parts. They run about 4 hours or so a piece, and they are a really great, fun time. And I hope that you will join us, fill out a bracket, have some fun. I think that is what makes this tournament so much more interesting. Is like, yeah, it's like fine to watch goofy collegiate sports or watch sports or do this tournament or anything or whatever. I think that putting the bracket in makes it like so much more interesting because people get way more invested than they ever really thought they would be, just because they have picks on the line. It's for fun. Everybody has a good time, but that makes it more interesting. So hopefully you'll go over, fill out a bracket, and yeah, we'll see who wins. Duke is a former champion. I believe they won the first March Mascot Madness tournament, and if they are to beat Cal, they would face the winner of Louisville, who is right here, and Louisville and Oregon State. Louisville coming off back-to-back tournament titles this year, specifically because of good old Louisville here, winning back-to-back tournaments. We're using NCAA March Madness 2007 this time around instead of 06. 06 I thought was a really great game, but the last tournament wasn't the best. So we're moving to 07. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more competitive, a little more unpredictable, and hopefully Louisville will not dominate their way through another tournament and make it a little bit too predictable. But Louisville, 2-time champion, Duke, 1-time champion. They could face off against each other in the second round of this tournament should they beat their respective opponents. The other team that won, I believe, was Arizona State in the first September tournament. Sticking with the Oregon, state of Oregon, I should say, we're going to go back to the Oaks. Oregon will be the away team in the 5th matchup of day number 1. We're taking on the Auburn Tigers, who are right here. Oregon and Auburn. The cool thing about NCAA 07 is that we get Oregon in. When I did the September Mascot tournament back in the first one, back in 2018, I guess that would have been, yeah, 2018. I used NCAA March Madness 2009, or NCAA Basketball 2009, and it lost both Oregon and Cincinnati. So this one has Oregon in it. Unfortunately, Cincinnati is not in it, but I will take the Ducks every time I can get them, because I do like the Oregon Ducks. Game number 6 is going to be Nebraska. Conveniently close. God, Nebraska versus Tennessee. This year there are only this time around there are only 3 hand-picked matchups. I just randomized it for the most part. So there you go. You have a little red and a little orange going on there. Let's see, where are we? Oh, there we go. And then next up we will have Missouri taking on Iowa. Missouri taking on, what is it, Iowa? Back here in the eyes. Oh boy, that is a very similarly colored matchup. I did not realize that was a thing. Obviously, Washington State, a hand-picked matchup. And this one is a hand-picked matchup as well. I thought it was funny last time, so I decided to stick with it. We just have the home team flipped this time from the last tournament, which I believe UNLV won, if I remember correctly. But it is UNLV taking on Texas Tech. That doesn't sound right. I can't fact-check it at the moment, but I don't know. Taking on Texas Tech. This is the Yosemite Sam battle, though more accurately is probably Yosemite Sam taking on Western Santa Claus. Thinking about it. So that'll wrap up day number 1, and then we will move on into day number 2, which is going to be Colorado. This is a good matchup. This was one that it got randomly generated, but I decided to move it just because I liked the look of it. Colorado is going to take on East Tennessee State. East Tennessee State, a favorite of mine. I always pick them to go very far, but they never do. That will be followed by Miami. Miami taking on East Tennessee State. They will be taking on Boston College. The Eagles of Boston College. So bird v. bird action going against each other. Game number 3 of day number 2 will be Villanova at Pittsburgh. Probably went the wrong way for this, but that's okay. Villanova, the Wildcats, taking on Pittsburgh. The Panthers, L-N-O-P. Pittsburgh. I do believe they wear clothes. No, I think they're naked. Every time I look at the eyes, though, I think of Mac in the musical, The Nightman Cometh. I kind of blanked there for a moment. We have a really good home team coming up next, and that is Northwestern. This one seems to be a pretty popular pick. They are very cute. I like them. Arizona will be taking them on. So we have some cat on cat going on here. We got a Wildcat versus Wildcat. All right, number 4. The ranking doesn't matter. Just as a note. Game number 5, hometown Gonzaga, who I should have put as the home team, which I guess I could technically still do. So this looks weird or is like outdated, and I flipped it. That's because I was like, you know what, I should give Gonzaga a home game. I probably will end up doing that actually, if I remember. I was already where I needed to be. Where did it go? No, M-L-N. There we go. New Mexico. Gonzaga taking on New Mexico. A couple of other like similarly colored mascots, a gray versus a gray with a white and some red, so I'm sure that'll be fun to listen to and get confused there. We got Georgia Tech coming up next. Georgia Tech, they will be taking on Michigan State this way. Michigan State, one of the few actual humanoid mascots in the tournament. I typically stay away from them because I don't like the humanoid ones, but because this is actually a mascot costume that just looks like a person, I left Michigan State in. I actually like this mascot, and I like this matchup as well, the green and the yellow jackets, Spartans. Who will come out on top, find out day number 2. That'll be Friday, March 5th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. This will be more like 6:30 or something like that. Actually, that doesn't make sense. It'll be like 3:30. Nope. It'll be like 2 p.m. 4 hours. It's like 6. This is the third game. 4:30. 4:30 p.m. Anyway, moving on here. We have Clemson. Clemson always makes me laugh with that pose. Taking on Mississippi State. The wrong way. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs. I apparently don't know my alphabet. Mississippi State. There are like 4 I's, 5 MI teams. Miami, Michigan State, Minnesota, Mississippi State, Missouri. But to settle on one for a moment, it's going to be Mississippi State taking on Clemson at home. Penn State and Alabama is going to round out day number 2. This was a randomized matchup. I believe Alabama was away from home, but I just made sure that they got a home game. Alabama, probably, I'd say one of the like upper echelon favorite teams in there. Everybody loves the elephant. It's fantastic. Penn State, not so much. Minnesota at Tulsa. This is a game that just the randomization gods blessed us with this one here. So we have Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, great mascot, absolutely love it, versus Tulsa, who really, I love the Golden Hurricane. This is a game that I don't know who I would pick between because I like both of these mascots a lot. So this is a good matchup. It should be a fun game to call, hopefully. Minnesota's had some good games in the past. They had a really good game against Temple that went into like double overtime. Tulsa, I don't know how well they've played in the past, but this is a great looking matchup. This one, again, just randomized. I just put it as a tip-off game to hopefully generate some interest. This will most likely be a thumbnail game as well. LSU and Georgia, a game that we, or LSU versus Georgia, I should say, a game that we see actually pretty frequently, just because they both play in the SEC. We have Florida right here, the Gators. That's technically a top 5 matchup. That's interesting. Again, I don't think it really matters, but the numbers are there to make it cool, I guess. South Carolina is going to be our next away team here. South Carolina. And they will be taking on the Dayton Flyers. Dayton Flyers are right there. I love the Dayton Flyers. I always pick them to go really far. I hope they win this game just because the next matchup, if the correct team wins, or the team I want to win wins, would be absolutely magnificent. And that'll be between Oklahoma, who are over here, they are the Sooners, and we have them taking on Syracuse. I believe this was another one of the matchups that was randomly generated. I just made sure Syracuse got a home game because everybody loves the Syracuse orange. And if the Syracuse orange and the Dayton Flyers get to play in round 2, I will be very, very happy. Even further than that, Minnesota or Tulsa, either of those teams win, and they're able to take care of Georgia or LSU. Then you have a round 3 matchup that could feature Minnesota, Tulsa, Syracuse, or Dayton. And I think either of those would be really great matchups in the Sweet 16. So a lot to look forward to, a lot to root for if you want to see some of the goofier mascots advance through the tournament. Going back more to the normal style of mascots, we have the UCLA Bruins taking on the Baylor Bears. Baylor, their Bears. I like the look. They've like a weird kind of like shiny texture to them, but I like the eyes. a couple of Bears fighting it out on the court to make it to face either Memphis or Utah State. So we're going to look here at Memphis. Memphis is a great one. I love the Memphis Tiger. I think it looks fantastic. Utah State, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's also not terrible, so it's kind of like, whatever. Utah State, the Aggies. I don't think Utah State has won very many games just because I don't recognize their mascot all that. Speaking of, but a mascot that I do recognize, I should say, is the Weber State Wildcats. I love this mascot a lot just because of how big its head is. And to think that they could play the Baylor Bears would be a really, oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I did Memphis at Utah State. I'm sorry. They will play the winner of the next game, which I would also like to. I would like to see a specific matchup as well. They are going to be playing a newcomer, from what I can tell. They are playing the Brigham Young Cougars, BYU Cougars, and so Weber State and BYU. BYU never been in a tournament before. I don't know if I've ever seen them or I just get past them for whatever reason, but I needed a replacement team for Cincinnati, and that's who we have is BYU. Winner of this game will take on Kansas or Wisconsin. Wisconsin getting the home nod right here. This could be a round 2 matchup right here. Weber State and Wisconsin. We'll see what happens. We're going to look at the Kansas Jayhawks here. Kansas taking on Wisconsin. Top 10 matchups. We have a couple of powerhouse matchups in the day. Number 3, we have a top 5 and a top 10 matchup for that third part. Again, rankings don't matter, but whatever. Did I show the correct? Here's the question. Did I show? Shoot. The second game of the day, it's LSU at Georgia. I think I showed Florida. Because I don't think Georgia is ranked. Yeah, I goofed that up. I'm sorry. It's LSU at Georgia. I apologize. I looked at my list and I went, something's wrong. Because I turned the page. And Florida is the first team that's going to play in the next round. And I recognize that as a goof. So my apologies. Hopefully you're not picking along, or if you are picking along, you haven't submitted. So, I'm sorry, I showed the wrong team. So we actually have a 1 top 10 matchup that day. We do have LSU taking on Georgia. This is, again, same spiel from earlier. This is a matchup that we see quite frequently because they are both in the SEC. But this is the correct matchup because Florida, who I showed earlier for some reason, Florida is actually going to be taking on Southern Mississippi. Usually Southern Mississippi has to play Alabama. I actually just like Southern Mississippi, so I don't want those two to knock each other out super early. So I just kind of left it at what it was. The reason Southern Mississippi and Alabama play each other is they are both alma maters of Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame Packers quarterback. I guess you could put, I didn't think about this until just now, but you could put Utah State, which I believe is where Jordan Love went to college, and California against each other. See who gets to start for the Packers next year, but that is neither here nor there. This is the matchup that's going to kick off day number 4. And that will be March 12th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. This is every Thursday and Friday. So, next up we have a battle of the states. We have NC State, which is right over here. That's an L. There's the NC State Wolfpack. They will be taking on Ball State. Ball State Cardinals. A couple of mascots that didn't quite get the countdown for the cheese correct. It was a little worrying. Former champion is in our next game. Arizona State Sun Devils. Got a good picture of him. Taking on the Marquette and Golden Eagles. This is an interesting matchup. They won winner of this game will face either Maryland or Iowa State. Maryland or Iowa State. I personally really like the Terrapins as a mascot. Yeah, so I hope that they are able to pull off the victory against the Cyclones. We have a couple of good matchups coming up right here. Georgetown. Actually, this is the wrong way, but it's fine. It's still Georgetown. They're just the away team. Ohio is the home team. And there are the Georgetown Hoyas for you. You'll be taking on the Ohio Bobcats. What I like about this matchup so much is the winner of this game plays the winner of the next game, obviously, because that's how a tournament works. If Ohio can win, they will have an opportunity to potentially face the Temple Owls if Temple can take care of the North Carolina Tar Heels. North Carolina typically in college basketball is very powerful. As you can see, they're ranked number 3. They're really good. In this tournament, they have not been good. I think they have a couple of wins, 2 wins total in the 4 tournaments. They're usually knocked out very early, first round, maybe second round if they're lucky to get there. So it's not, there is some randomness and some craziness, some shenanigans that can happen just because a team is ranked number 3 or typically performs very well. And I would assume that North Carolina is ranked highly in all of the games that I've used so far. Doesn't mean that they're automatically guaranteed a victory. Arkansas and Connecticut are up next. That's the wrong. I need 2 extra letters before Kansas. Arkansas, the Razorbacks, is taking on UConn, who's actually under Connecticut. I just do not like spelling the name or the state Connecticut. Specifically, it's the ECTICUT that I don't like. I just don't like it. And as with every tournament, the first round finishes up with the mascot matchup that my mom said if they ever played each other, I would hope that it would just end in a tie. No one deserves to win. It is Ohio State taking on Stanford. Oops, I've gone past the S's. I was so focused on what I was doing that I completely lost focus on what I was doing. Ohio State taking on the Stanford Cardinal. That'll wrap it up. This one's back in California. This one, like the Washington State matchup, rotates. And those two are the mainstays of the tournament brackets. Always starts with the Cougars and the Huskies, always ends with Ohio State and State. So there you go. There you have it. Those are our matchups this time around. We'll be doing a bunch of content around the tournament. There will be a top 5 countdown. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to go up, but there will be a top 5 countdown. We'll also have a hype stream, hype tournament on March 2nd as part of the sports night thing that I normally do. And then the tournament will tip off on March 4th. So get your bracket entry in. The link is in the description below. So hopefully you will go fill out a bracket. Again, winner gets a gift sub to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. It's a really good time. It's super fun. I love doing it. I think it's a fantastic tournament, and I couldn't be more excited to bring it to you again. We'll have hours and hours of coverage, like 32 hours or something like that. 8 parts, 8 days, all month in March. Hopefully you will join us for that again, March 4th, 2 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex, or over on YouTube. You can catch it starting on March 6th, and that will air every Saturday and Sunday on YouTube, and every Thursday and Friday over on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Head on over to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. Follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel monetarily, if you'd like. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, you have a free gift sub you can give someone. If you want to do that to me, that would be fantastic. If not, hey, that's totally cool. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Keep on jamming.